I got arrested when my daughter orchestrated lies about me after watching prank videos on YouTube, spent a month in legal hell before my son admitted they made it up, tried to fix our family, but then my ex filed for divorce and immediately accused me of giving our son a concussion in a grocery store with cameras. Posted by you/returningdarkness. Hold on because this is a doozy. I'm going to omit some details to help keep myself from getting identified about this whole thing. Last year, my kids, 9F and 7M, ran away late at night, early in the morning. When found by some city officials, they claimed I kicked them out of the house. I woke up the morning of to the cops and CPS knocking on the door. I told my side of the story from what I knew, and they had my, now ex-wife tell her side while keeping us separated. The cops claim our stories don't match and end up arresting me. I bail myself out that same day and go live with my parents for a while. I'm dealing with court, scared that I'm going back to jail or prison and that I'll lose my job that I had only been at for a year. A little over a month goes by, and I get a phone call to have a meeting with the CPS woman in charge of our case. My daughter ended up making more allegations against me that did not make any sense to the CPS people, and when they asked her questions, she was unable to give them answers. My son ended up breaking first and admitting the whole thing was made up and that my daughter was the one to orchestrate everything. This reveal led to the charges being dropped and my daughter getting counseling and psychiatric help. For a while, I thought things were good. We were on our way to fix things. I kept trying to get all of us into therapy, both individually and family. I was already in therapy due to this whole situation anyway. My ex kept dragging her feet, and it never went anywhere. After some other situations with being displaced due to a natural disaster and me trying to get things packed up in our old apartment, I get told by my ex she wants a divorce, so now I'm having to rush and try to find a place to live, which I did luckily. I actually move in tomorrow. On the 14th of June, I get served an emergency protection order by the county sheriff's office. I'm told it's because I allegedly hit my son and gave him a concussion while in the grocery store, where there are cameras. He had been taken to the emergency room by my ex on the 14th, but this event allegedly happened on the 10th. I had told my ex that due to me having to get this house to rent, along with utilities in my name, adding up to over $2,000, that I wasn't going to be able to pay certain bills this month but that I'll get them caught up as soon as I can to get everything paid off and even. I signed for the deposit on the 11th, and the kids had been with her while I did this paperwork, and there was no issue. On the same morning, I had taken my kids to the park so they could play and recorded videos of them being silly and having fun. I was talking to my therapist this week, and I told her what was going on and how I felt about being around my ex or the children. It's 2 years in a row of false allegations. I want nothing to do with any of them now. I'll pay child support gladly. I had an agreement with my ex before this all happened of paying $1,000 a month, $500 per paycheck, for child support. After all of this, am I the jerk for not wanting to be around the children and my ex after everything gets settled and found out to be lies again? Additional information from up. I posted this before I clocked in at work, so let me give some more details. My ex-wife and I were still together when the kids ran away last year. My side of the story during that was that I came home from work, talked with the kids and wife, gave the kids their melatonin gummies before sending them to bed, after which I took a shower before making me something for dinner and cleaning up afterwards. By this point, my ex was asleep already, and so were the kids. When CPS and the mental health professionals were talking to my daughter after everything got cleared, she was saying the voices she was hearing were telling her to do things. The mental health professionals said this sounded too rehearsed to them. It later got revealed that she was watching videos on YouTube about kids pranking their parents, and she wanted to try it out herself. She had access to YouTube due to tablets that my mother-in-law had given the kids for Christmas back in 2023, which I disagreed with, but I was ignored. At the time, and to this day, I do not believe my ex had a hand in the running away situation. On to this year, my son went to the ER on the 14th because he had, and I quote from the paperwork I was given, dizziness, lightheaded feeling, and a nosebleed. I am not sure how he received a concussion. Nothing is finished with this situation yet, and nothing has been decided in terms of child support. We go back to court next month to revisit this after the investigation has finished. On the day I received the EPO, I talked to a state trooper and told him the kids' history, showed the videos of my kids playing, and showed receipts on my banking app from when we were at Walmart and at what time we were there. As of right now, I haven't heard anything else. I have already been interviewed by CPS and informed them of the same things I told the state trooper because it is a different person on this case, as my ex and kids live in a different county at the moment. This time, I firmly believe that my ex is behind this due to my telling her some of the bills would have to wait because I'm having to pay approximately $2,500 to move, put down deposits, and pay first and last month rent. I haven't seen my kids since I dropped them off to my grandparents on the afternoon of the 11th. I have not made a decision about staying away from my kids, but I do plan on talking to a lawyer in the next couple of days, And I'm looking into security for my house and a discreet body camera to wear, like many other users have said. I'll try to answer any other questions that I can, but I move tomorrow, and I have some last-minute things to pack up and place in my car and move downstairs. Thank you for all of your insights and words and thoughts and prayers. It means a whole lot to me that I can't put into words. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, are your children your biological? Ops response, well, considering they look like I just clicked copy and paste. Commenter 2, did something happen at the grocery store that caused the son to have a concussion? Ops response, nothing happened at the grocery store is the thing. We went in, picked up some sweet tea and ramen, then left. Update 1, almost 1 month later. So I have an update, along with answering some questions better from my previous post. When I first posted this, I was not in a good headspace, and I realized that I wasn't very clear. To be honest, I'm still not in a good headspace, but it's a little bit better. For starters, these false allegations started last year when my kids were 9 and 7. When I said 2 years, I meant calendar years. When I said I spoke to the police about my side of the story last year, I meant what happened the night before the police and CPS showed up at the front door. I had gotten home, spent some time with the kids and my ex, then wife, before giving the kids their melatonin gummies. This was done on an as-needed basis, mainly 2 to 3 times a week at most. After that, I went and took a shower, made myself some dinner, then ate and cleaned up the kitchen before spending more time with my then-wife before we both went to bed. Due to a contraction happening when she was being given the epidural, she sleeps better propped up, so she slept on the couch while myself and the kids slept upstairs. The next morning is when I woke up to the cops at the door with CPS. I was charged with child abandonment and arrested. It took over a month for the truth to come out about my kids making this up due to the fact my daughter was saying I was having inappropriate relations with her. The CPS agent conducting the investigation tried to ask more details, and that's when my daughter started crying and admitted she made it up because she couldn't give details. The only reason my daughter even knew what that was is because my ex and I were in the bedroom, and we both thought the other locked the door, and my daughter walked in on us. Moving to now, I don't know how my son got this supposed concussion. We had court again on Monday, the 21st, and when the judge asked her, she told him that after talking with the state trooper, we have decided to not press criminal charges. I asked the judge if there was any evidence that they had about what they're claiming I did, and he told me that since no charges were filed, there's no evidence gathered to give to me. I want to thank everyone for their answers on my last post. Thinking about those feelings was making me sick to my stomach, and I just needed some perspectives from people who weren't emotionally involved. I thought about this since last month, and I made the decision to tell the judge I want the divorce process and this EPO to be over and done with and that I just want to be left alone. I'm still questioning if this was the right decision or not. I'm just not sure what else I could do. I work 12-hour days, 5 to 6 days a week. I have no way to take care of the kids, so I can't take them in. Even then, am I supposed to get to the point where the court system says supervised visits aren't needed anymore and just start wearing a body camera around the kids and just be scared all the time? Looking over my shoulder constantly just to make sure that I'm not going to end up in jail again? We have a hearing set up for December to hopefully get everything finalized and finished. I keep thinking about the kids going trick-or-treating in 3 months, going back to school next month, how we won't be decorating Christmas trees together or making cookies for Santa, and I start crying all over again. I'm not sure what else I could have done though that wouldn't have made me a paranoid mess 24/7. This will be the last update until December or January, I guess. Thank you again for everyone saying I wasn't a jerk for feeling this way. Have a good one, Reddit. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, did your ex explain why she wanted the divorce? Ops response, her words was that she just isn't in love with me anymore, and we've both become too different. She's religious, I'm not. Both have different views on things that we can't come to an agreement on. After last year, I wanted to get us into therapy and got some recommendations for marriage counselors and gave her the list and said that I'd be fine with whoever she chose so long as we worked on it. She never chose anyone and kept making excuses about why every time I asked. Commenter 2, your daughter lied about you assaulting her, among many other allegations, and she says that she was motivated to behave the way that she did after she apparently watched a YouTube prank video? There is more to this story than your daughter is letting on. Either your ex-wife has coached your daughter well, or your daughter is incredibly manipulative at a very young age. Ops response, everything I know I included. I'm dead certain there's stuff I don't know about like you said. Commenter 3, if you don't mind the question, in your previous post, you mentioned how you were arrested because the cops claimed you and your wife's stories didn't match. Did you find out why they weren't the same, and why your wife wasn't arrested as well? Sorry you're going through this, Ops response, no, I didn't. I have the police report, but all it says is when asked if she believes he's capable of this, she answered I don't know, I don't think so, I don't want to think about it. Commenter 4, Did the daughter's tablet, from mother-in-law, have parental controls? Ops response: she apparently somehow found a way to get past it from what I know about it. Like I mentioned in a different comment, I told everything that I know about the situation from my end. Commenter 5: Op needs to get his kids in therapy, especially his daughter and himself. Ops response: I agree about both, and luckily I'm in therapy already. I've been in therapy since August or September of last year. Update 2, 8 days later. So this is a really small update that I wasn't expecting to make. I had left a voicemail for the CPS agent assigned to the current situation with my son asking for an update on everything because I haven't heard anything since June. She had to look in her case notes, but everything has been found to be unsubstantiated. I should be getting the official paperwork in a few days to a week in the mail. I'm not sure how to feel about this, honestly. I'm relieved that the truth has come out about these allegations, angry that this has happened to me twice now, happy that this is one step closer to being finished. I want to cry, but I couldn't tell you the specific emotion that's causing it. I'm taking some other Redditors' words to heart and putting in a request to my state police records department to get copies of any and all paperwork, evidence or lack thereof, anything I can get my hands on from them. I'm also getting copies of my son's medical records so I can see exactly what was found back in June. I know a lot of you don't believe this, and I don't care. I have nothing to gain from lying about this. I'll gladly post pictures of the paperwork from CPS when it comes in, with all private information redacted, of course, to protect myself and my children. I know some of the details don't make sense between the original post and the update, but like I saw one person mention in Best of Redditor updates, which I love to read posts from and didn't expect my own to end up there, I'm just going on survival mode. I only just got a full-sized fridge 2 days ago. I only have an air mattress for a bed. I'm just tired. I want this over with. I want things to go back to January when all I had to worry about was the fact I was recovering from a car wreck and couldn't even help take down the Christmas trees and get a new car. Relevant comments. Commenter 1: I think it's good you're getting those medical records because, if he really did have a concussion, it's possible that your ex tried to pin it on you to hide who really did it. And that's something that CPS should actually be looking at. Commenter 2: Also, are we exploring the option that someone else may have assaulted the daughter? I think it's actually kind of common for abused children to accuse someone other than the actual abuser. It feels like ops should be pushing for someone to look into the kid's situation. Even just getting them a therapist or someone to talk to that is a mandated reporter and can keep an eye out. Commenter 3: If you have issues obtaining any information, you can try a private investigator. I have never used one, but I have seen many comments praising them for the help. Commenter 4: Buddy, it's clear your ex-wife is more involved with all of this than you think. I document everything with her and keep your kids in therapy. If you have custody of the kids, get cameras around the house too. She's poisoning them against you. Update 3, a bit over 1.5 months later. So I didn't think I would be back with any sort of update until December, but here I am. First, I want to thank everyone for their comments, the ones who tell me I'm not the jerk for feeling this way, the ones who said this was fake AI nonsense, which got me laughing a bit, and for all the advice everyone's given me. Second, for the ones who DM'd me, I also want to say thank you for reaching out. I may not have answered, but I really appreciated reading the messages. After my last update, I tried looking for something to do on my days off of work. My first thought was the animal shelter nearby because it's not even a 5-minute drive from my house. Turns out it's closed on my days off. I looked around for neighboring counties, and those were even less helpful. A lot of them required I attend some sort of orientation, but there's no set day of the week for the orientations. I know it would be good for my mental health in the long run, but in the short term, taking a day off from work, potentially, to attend the orientation and making my paycheck smaller isn't helpful. So I decided to try dating. I wasn't going into this looking for anything serious. I was wanting to try some casual dates to just get out of the house and meet people. That's not what happened. I made a profile on a dating app and kind of just left it alone. One of the pictures I had put on there was of my cat. He's an orange cat presenting as a tuxedo cat. No brain cell whatsoever. I got a message, and this woman was talking about how cute my cat was and how he matched one of hers. We talked about our cats for a while, then things got flirty, and I asked her out on a date. I feel like it went well, since she stuck around anyway. We found out that there are so many similarities between what we like and our senses of humor that my friends think I found a female version of myself, which I think is funny because when she meets them, that means they're screwed. After almost a month of us talking and going on the occasional date, I told her I had some things to tell her and then something to ask her. I was upfront with everything that happened last year and this year, showing her the paperwork that I had to show that I was innocent in all of this. After telling her all of this, I asked if she still wanted to stick around or if she wanted to walk away and not get dragged into any drama that she could get put through just because of us having a relationship. She hugged me, cried for me, which got me to start crying, and told me that she was sorry I had to go through something like that. Once the two of us stopped trying to flood my house from crying, more myself than her, I asked her if she wanted to make things official between us, and she said yes. I was honestly so scared to tell her about what happened with my kids and ex. I was dead certain that once I told any prospective girlfriend this, they would walk away so that their own lives wouldn't get ruined. But she stayed, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that. We agreed to take it slow so that we don't rush into anything too quickly. I can't remember which of my posts it was on, and to be honest, there's too many comments on them all to be able to find them, but a Redditor said that, essentially, they hope I find someone and can actually be happy after all of this drama with my ex-wife and kids. I want to thank them for saying that, because between them speaking it into existence and my cat being, well, him, it seems to have worked. I'm not back up to 100% though. I'm still scared that something else will happen that will somehow mess my life up even more. I'm scared of the cops showing up at my house with new allegations even though I haven't done anything. I'm scared of running into my ex or the kids in public just by going grocery shopping and somehow getting arrested over it. Every time I drive home and a sheriff, state police, or city police vehicle comes down towards me or drives by the house, I can feel my anxiety spike. I have cameras up that record my front door, back door, and where I park my car outside my house, and cameras inside that cover my front door and my back door. I have other means of showing my location on my phone and where I've traveled, if I've traveled at all that day. I keep any receipts from shopping or even grabbing something to eat while in town just so I have timestamps of where I've been when I was there. It's a mess, but I'm doing what I can. I'm looking forward to learning more about my girlfriend that my dingus of a cat helped me meet. I'm looking forward to being able to not live in fear of police. I'm looking forward to being able to live and not just not pass away right now. Again, I want to thank everyone for their thoughts, advice, comments, everything. I'm still gathering paperwork and what evidence I can about all of this, and sadly, I still don't have answers about why this has been happening. I don't know how my son got this supposed concussion. I don't know if my ex is coaching them. I don't know if someone is in their lives because of my ex that is causing all of this. I don't know if I'll get those answers, but right now, I'm going to keep searching and fighting for myself until I either can't find anything else or I get answers. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, oh my gosh, this was actually such a roller coaster to read, but in like the best way. First off, huge props for putting yourself out there when you were feeling stuck. That takes so much energy when your mental health is already low, and you still did it. Second, your cat basically deserves a medal for matchmaking, because that's honestly the cutest way to meet someone. And the fact that she stayed after you opened up about everything? That's huge. Like, you didn't just find someone who's fun to be around, you found someone who can handle the hard stuff with you, which is exactly what you need after everything you've been through. It's also totally normal to still feel anxious. Your brain is just trying to keep you safe after all that drama, so of course it's hyper alert. The cameras, receipts, all that, that's you taking control where you can, and there's nothing wrong with that while you rebuild trust in your own safety. Basically, you're doing better than you think. You're dating someone who sounds amazing, you're taking steps to protect yourself, and you're still fighting for answers. That's strength right there. Keep letting yourself enjoy the good moments with her, the fear will start to loosen its grip over time. Ops response, thank you for the comment. It definitely made me smile today. Dingus did get a reward for his efforts, even though the picture was of him sleeping, so very little effort really, of wet food and new treats and toys. Commenter 2, first post was 3 months ago. You've been dating this girl for at least a month, so you went from that traumatic end to jumping into a new relationship in 2 months? If you're gonna move away from trauma at warp speed, don't be surprised when you end up with more. Ops response, that's why I'm making sure to take this slow and not jumping into the deep end. No meeting family until 2 months officially dating, so not until November at the earliest. No going to family functions together until next year, things like that. Commenter 3, did your ex give her a reason why she wanted a divorce in the first place? Do you think there's someone else and that she's trying to manipulate the kids? Ops response, at this point, I have no idea, but that's the general consensus from my other posts. My ex told me she wasn't in love with me anymore and that she couldn't stay with me and wanted a divorce. I haven't spoken to her since June, so I have nothing else to go off of. Commenter 4, I would demand a psych evaluation of the kids as part of the divorce. I'm afraid they are being coached by their mom, and if that is the case, it is abuse, and you have to protect your kids. Have a professional do a full evaluation because they could be as much victims as you are. Also, what did you solve about your ring finger? Ever found a nice piece of jewelry to replace it? Ops response, I'm leaning towards that. I'm just wanting to get to tax time so I can get my return and hire a lawyer. It's not the best choice, I'll admit, but there's a company called Enso Rings that my ex and I had gotten wedding rings from. They're all made of silicone and are very comfortable and have some contracts with Disney and WB. They currently have a suicide survivor ring that either 20 or 30% of each sale goes to a foundation of some kind. I can't remember the specifics off the top of my head. I had an attempt about 10 years ago by trying to overdose on muscle relaxers. I was thinking of buying that ring. Obviously, I'll explain it to my girlfriend so she knows ahead of time and doesn't see me out of the blue with a ring on again. Commenter 5, is Op in therapy? Op's response, I'm already in therapy. Been going for about a year now.